Hello Internet, you may well be wondering why I am wearing a Bear Archery Company hat today. Now, is that because I'm planning on doing the Bear Grizzly review that I've been promising for ages, or is it because I didn't have the time to meticulously coif my hair this morning? Nah, I'm doing the Grizzly. Okay, before we get started doing the Bear Grizzly video, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that I haven't got around to doing this video sooner. I know I've been promising it for absolutely ages. As you know, things are a bit crazy at the moment, and they're probably set to get even crazier. But I thought it was a really nice autumn day, so I thought I'd come out, bring the Grizzly, we'll do a video on the Grizzly, and hopefully keep some people happy, and then we'll move on to the Kodiak another day. But that is coming, I promise you. But anyway, before we get talking about the Grizzly, there is something I wanted to talk about, and it's a negative, and I do want to bring this up. And I've mentioned it before in, I think it was my Montana video, about the strings that are shipping with bears at the moment. Now, this is the sort of string that you're going to get with a bear, and it's not really a Flemish twist. It's not really anything. I mean, I pride myself on my strings, and this is a really bad example of what a string is. I'm not entirely sure how that is made. It just twists. And using it, I found when you string a bow, if it twists up, you can't get the string off the string nocks. It twists up too tight. So I would, if you do open up your bear and there's one of these strings in it, I would bin it and invest in another string. These aren't great, and I'm not a huge fan of them. And it pains me to say it, because I am a bear fanboy, and I wear my heart on my sleeve when I say I like bear. I've always liked bear. I mean, this hat. It's my hat. It's a bear hat. Nobody sent me this to wear. It's I do love bear. But what you should be looking for in your string is a nice Flemish laid-in string like this one that I made earlier. Just a nice even twist. It does twist obviously up and down, but it's not sort of going to twist up right around the string knock. So that's what a proper Flemish twist string should look like, and that's what a sort of an incorrect Flemish twist string should look like. So hopefully you'll be able to sort of tell the difference and make a decision on which string you want to go for. But saying that, let's get the negative out the way now. I just wanted to grumble about strings. But let's talk about the Bear Grizzly. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice about the bow is it's quite short. It's only a 58-inch bow, so it's probably not going to suit those of you who've got huge monster-like draw lengths. Although I'm talking about my friend Jeff Kavanagh, he's also a bit of a bear man. He shoots one of these. He's got a 29.5-inch draw length, and he doesn't have any trouble at all. But bear in mind that it is a short bow, so it is only 58 inches long. So bear that in mind if you are looking at them. But I've got a draw length of 28 inches, and it's perfectly fine, very smooth, no stacking at all. The material that it is made of. Now, I believe these used to be made of red Dymondwood, but I believe there was an issue with the Dymondwood factory burning down. I still need that confirmed, but I'm pretty sure the Dymondwood factory burnt down. So now this is made of, I think it's red rock maple or something like that. I'll put it in the description of what the exact material is. But it's a really nice rich colour. I have seen variations in colour. This lovely rich red colour right through to something that looks a little bit like a floorboard. So yeah, there are differences in the different sort of batches, but this happens to be a really nice example of a Bear Grizzly with that lovely red wood there. You can really see the grain coming through. I mean, I think this is probably a Dymondwood one, because I've got a feeling this is a slightly older model. But I mean, the bow's been going for years. I mean, it originally came out in 1950, and Fred Bear made the final tweaks to the design in about 1964, and it's been that way for years, and it's a staple in the traditional archery world. I mean, everyone loved the Bear Grizzly. I think it's a nice bow. I've always had a soft spot for the Bear Grizzly. It generally is a bit of an entry bow into bear bows. It's, you know, it's at a decent price point. It's around the £300 mark. But what I'll do, I'll put the price and everything in the description, because, you know, things do change. But yeah, you've got maple limbs backed either side with black glass. You've also got the same wood on the limb tips. Now these aren't hugely reinforced limb tips that you'd get on, say, like a Kodiak or any of the other bears. Which brings me to my next point, that this bow is one of only 2 bears that will only take a Dacron string. It was only designed to take a Dacron string. If you want to put something else on it, that's your choice. But the recommended string for the Grizzly, and I think it's the Kodiak Cub, they're the only 2 bear bows that require the use of a Dacron string. Got a nice generous shelf. It's cut on centre, not past centre. It's a lovely, comfortable grip. It is very flat at the front. Is something that I noticed. I mean, coming to this bow so late, I think to be honest, I've been spoiled. The bear I've shot most is probably my Kodiak Takedown, and that is a fantastic bow. And this sort of it's not quite up to the doesn't feel quite as nice as the Bear Kodiak, but then again, it's a fair few £100 cheaper, so it's one of those things you get what you pay for. So I have been spoilt with the Kodiak. But the Bear is a lovely, smooth, quiet shooting bow. It is a very pretty bow. I mean, it's tapped for a bow quiver. But I think we've banged on about it enough. I think we should probably go and shoot it. But before we do that, I'll just let you know, this happens to be a £45 bow. It comes in poundages from 30 to 60. I think, again, with the bears, some left-handed poundages, I think it's from 35 to 55, I think, if you're left-handed. But again, I'll put that in the description at the bottom. But yeah, that's in short the Bear Grizzly. So I think what we need to do is go and have a little shoot with it and see how she handles. All right, we'll see you in a sec. Bye-bye. So we have come out on the range to put a few arrows through the Bear Grizzly, see what it's like to shoot. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I haven't shot this bow before. I've shot this bow before, but I'm going to try and convey how it feels to shoot, sort of naturally, rather than sort of trying to explain. Well, I haven't got the bow in my hand, what it's like to shoot. So yeah, let's just send half a dozen arrows down and just try and get a feel for how the bow shoots. Hopefully you'll see how it unwinds, and you'll get an idea of the sound. I've always thought the Grizzly's a bit of quite a quiet bow, but hopefully we'll get an idea of how it sounds. I mean, again, you'll notice that the new string, I haven't got a knocking point or anything on there, so we'll have to bear with me. But yeah, let's just chuck a few arrows down and see. You know, let's try and describe what it's like to shoot it. I'm using my old Eastern Axe. This is again the 600 spine Eastern Axis trad carbons. I think they're weighing at just over 400 grains. I'm going to run them through a crony in a little bit so you see how fast they actually are. But I'll put all the information that you might require on screen when we do that. But yeah, let's just throw a few arrows down and see what it's like. Again, about 15 yards. Again, I haven't paced it out. But let's just see what it's like. It's nice, smooth, nothing in the way of stacking. I mean, again, I'm only pulling it about 28 inches, so anything over, you may well find it stacks. But I haven't noticed anything. And as I said before, my friend Jeff, he can pull it well over 29, and it seems to be fine for him. Yeah, it's a very smooth bow to shoot, actually, very, very smooth. Just dropping some arrows into a paper cup there, just for something a little bit different. Let's push the cup up, which makes it a little bit difficult to try and get them in, but we'll persevere. But yeah, it's a pleasurable bow to shoot. I mean, I've always found that with the bears. The only thing I'm struggling with a little bit is how wide that is there. It's for my hand now, it feels a little bit uncomfortable, especially sort of shooting the Kodiaks and sort of all the Timber Creeks with the cutaway in the grip. I'm finding it a little bit thick in the hand, but it does fit the hand nicely. Very little in the way of hand shock. I mean, you get a little bit of feedback from it, but you kind of expect that with a traditional bow. But yeah, it's a nice shooting little bow. It's nice. I mean, it's pretty. As you see, it's a pretty small sight window there, but I'm used to a fairly small sight window. But it's not really affecting me in any way. Just thought I'd mention it. But, yeah, I mean, I can't fault where it's putting them. It's a nice bow to shoot. I mean, I'm looking forward to actually getting out and trying it at some sort of longer distances. It'd be nice to see what the legs are like on it. Being I mean, I've been used to bamboo bow for a while now, which is very quick, very fast, and it's got a really good trajectory on it. So it'd be nice to see how this compares. But like I say, it's a 45-pound bow, and it seems to be kicking them out quite nicely. I mean, I haven't tuned out any arrows in or anything, but I mean, it is flying quite nice, all things considered, actually. Yeah, that's one here. So we'll chuck this last arrow down, and then we'll go out and we'll have a bit more of a play with it, and we'll see what we think at the end. So I'll see you in a sec. It's nice. So that has been the Bear Grizzly. Now I have enjoyed shooting it, and I openly admit I've got a bit of a soft spot for bear bows. I always have, and I think I probably always will. Negatives are the fact that it's mostly down to quality, especially that string. The string we looked at earlier. It's not a great string, and it does let the bow down a little bit. So if you can, I'd swap out that string if you do get one of those horrible twisty ones. I mean, some people may prefer them, I don't know, but the ones I've strung up with those strings, they're not great strings. Very rarely are they the right size. So that kind of needs to be addressed, really. And occasionally there are some quality issues with the bows themselves. I don't know if they've changed the manufacturing process. Maybe they have. I'm not entirely sure, but some grizzlies aren't as nice as others. Now this happens to be a particularly nice example of a grizzly, so I'm quite fortunate there. But I mean, there are a few tool marks on it and things, but it's a reasonably priced bow. It's not a stupidly expensive bow, so you're not going to get the finish that you get with spending several grand on a black tail or something like that. It's been described as the working man's bow, and I can get on board with that. It is a functional, nice looking, nice shooting bow. Just to go over a few things, it's 58 inches long, so it's a fairly short recurve. But I didn't experience any finger pinch or anything. It was quite pleasurable to shoot. Available poundages from 30 up to 60. There are a few less options if you're left-handed. But yeah, it's a nice little bow, and I think it's pretty quick as well. If you look at the Crony, it's for a bow that's using a Dacron string and maple limbs instead of bamboo. I think that's a respectable sort of speed. So yeah, that has been the Bear Grizzly. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll hope to be getting you the Kodiak review sometime soon. Sort of be looking at the difference between the A and the B risers and the different sort of limbs and what sort of size bows you can get with that. But that's for another day. Anyway, from one grizzly to another, I hope I hope you've enjoyed that. You take care, shoot straight, and I'll see you on the internet. Bye bye. That I was using with a friend of mine the other day, actually, called single arrow shooting. I mean, it goes by many names, and what it means is, instead of trying to put in a nice group, you just shoot one single arrow.